Welcome to my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today I have a sewing project here for you guys. So I'm going to be using Simplicity 9218. I've been kind of on a 70s kick, which you can kind of see in some of my recent haul videos, as well as my last month's sewing project was a 70s square dancing costume, and that was super fun to make. Definitely check that video out. I'll link that in the eye and I guess down below. But this is what the pattern looks like. I'm gonna probably stand up to show it to you guys. So I am doing this one, which is version 3, I believe. I really like the sleeves. I like the transparency. I like the belt. With that, I have ordered a lot of buttons. This pattern calls for 12 half-inch ball buttons, which I don't have, so I actually found a vendor of them on Etsy that I really like, and so I ordered a bunch in a bunch of different colors because I'm not quite sure yet which color I want. But I love the kind of like bishop sleeve, and I like that it's just a little bit more casual since this is a bridal pattern. So fabrics, the first fabric I have, I hauled this recently, I guess it was in my no-buy haul, is what I showed you guys. This one, this is a fabric I've used for a few projects for linings. It's pretty transparent, but with another transparent fabric, they become non-transparent, so it's perfect for that. I have quite a few yards of this. This is for just the underdress. And then the other material I will be using is this. I'm just gonna unfurl it a little bit so you can see truly how beautiful and lovely this pattern is. It has lots of different flowers. It has, to me, what look like forget-me-nots, either peonies or roses, some poppies. Oh no, this is just for, oh, and some fuchsias, which I love fuchsias as well. This is just a great variety of flowers and I really love it. It is just a bed sheet that I picked up at one of the most amazing estate sales I've ever been to in my life. I will also be linking that video up in the eye in case you want to check that out. I got a lot of really great linens to sew with and make some things. The pattern does not call for lace, but I really love the lace with this color palette, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put one level of lace around the hem and maybe on the cuffs. We'll kind of see how much I have. I have one full sheet with the lace on it, and then I also have a couple pillowcases with the lace. So I'm hoping between that I can get enough for one time around the hem and then one time around each cuff of sleeves maybe. I kind of have to work out how that works, which you will see happen live. But that is pretty much it for the intro. I am so excited about this project. This is my first ever maxi dress that I'm making. And it's also, I was gonna say my first one from the 70s, but we already covered that. I have done one from the 70s, but it's my first. It's just a little different for me. Usually I do 40s and 50s patterns, so it's pretty fun to be doing, yeah, something just a little bit different, and I love this fabric. I think I'm gonna have enough of this fabric for actually another dress, but we'll see if that hunch is correct. So what will be days for me will be seconds for you. I will be right back here in a sec. Alright, so I am just checking in and showing you. So I have, I don't know if you can tell here, this is all the under dress pieces. So these are all done in a pretty plain cotton lawn. And by pretty plain, I mean plain as they can come. And then I have everything marked and ready to go for that. So as you can see here, I have a bunch of pieces laid out. So you can see I have the collar, both the skirts and the back bodice piece. For the bodice front and the sleeve, which is what I have right here, these I would like to be really intentional on making sure the sleeves are exactly the same, and the front bodice, making sure whatever is in the front of that is straight down the middle, symmetrical, if it's possible. I don't know if that's actually possible with this pattern, but I'm going to give it a shot, or at least be really intentional again about that placement. So I haven't laid these two out. So I'm going to get these cut out and then figure that out. I have extra fabric from the pillowcases that I split. I also still have a full another sheet of this, which I'm excited about because I think this is a gorgeous fabric. Over here you can see how there's this lip on the edge of the bed cover, and that has the lace and then is just a solid. That goes really well with this fabric. So for the cuffs, I'm actually going to go ahead and just use that because I think it will be a cute touch. And this is the lace that I stripped from the pillowcase that I'm going to use around the cuff. And then I do think I'm going to go ahead and make the collar solid like this as well. I think it'll just look nice and kind of be an extra detail, and I will probably put lace around the collar. So I'm going to get cutting and then check back in a little. Okay, so I have everything cut out. It took a lot of time. This is a very complicated pattern, and since it has basically 2 dresses, it was basically double the cutting, but we're done. I have read through the instructions, which are also very complicated. So this is not one where I'm going to be assembling things simultaneously. I'm going to follow the instructions to the letter. So first I will be assembling the bodice. So for unit 1 and unit 2, I will do all the steps, and then I guess I'll check in with you guys after the bodice is fully assembled, and then I think I start to add the collar, and then after that I'll be working on the skirts. Yeah, this is gonna be something to work on. It's gonna be kind of tough, I think. But I'm excited. I think it's going to end up really pretty. And then they have you sew a lot of the embellishments on before you sew things together, which is nice. So I'm going to be kind of back and forth. I'm adding lace to this version. It doesn't call for lace, but I think it would look nice with the lace on the cuff, the collar, and the hem of the skirt, and I definitely have enough for that. So that's kind of the plan right now. I will check back in, like I said, when the bodice is assembled. I'll probably even check in once the bodice and the collar are fully assembled. I guess I should show you guys this. I was very intentional with how I cut this so it didn't feel like too flowered. I didn't want it to have the big cabbage roses on it because I just feel like it would feel weird. So I have that, and then I have all the back pieces somewhere in here. And then the sleeves I also cut really intentionally to not have the big cabbage roses on them. So that's kind of where we're at on cutting. And then the back of the dress I'm okay, and there's kind of a cabbage rose on a similar space of each one. So hopefully everything will feel like it flows. I don't know. We'll see. This will be interesting. This is probably going to be the hardest thing I've sewn so far. I am checking in earlier than planned because I'm just very excited about how this is shaping up. I'm going to get down on the ground and point. But as you can see, I have the bodice here. If I flip it over, you can see kind of the shape of the lining. This is going to be so cute. I'm very excited about it. You can see it's kind of this weird squiggly shape looking. So I was really glad I read the instructions on this earlier than a lot of times I normally do, because normally I just default go to darts. And it was interesting because in this case you're doing the darts of the 2 layers together. So you actually had to wait to do the darts. So I will be doing the darts next, sewing the side seams after that, and then I will be adding the collar. And so that's all very exciting, and I will show you that when it is all done. All right, here it is. I'm so excited. I think this looks so good. You can see I have the bodice made. I have the darts here. As you can see, they're stitched in as one thingy, like the instructions told me to, and then I added some lace up around the collar. I figure it is always easier to sew before. So that is what we have going on here. Next up I'm going to work on, here's the instructions for the skirt, which goes through here, and then it talks about the cuff over on this page. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble the sleeves and the skirt at the same time, just obviously in different pieces, and I will check in with you guys when I have those assembled and I'm ready to get everything kind of combined and joined. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys, I was doing a quick fit test because I was nervous about this cuff fitting particularly well or not. Basically this up here is too tight, and I'm kind of feeling like it's too late to do anything about that. I am going to write a note with this pattern to make the cuff about a ½ inch larger, and I am trying to decide whether I need to put an gusset here because this is not the best, but I'm also feeling lazy, so I don't know. But otherwise the fit of this is looking pretty good. I think it looks really cute. I'm gonna right now just focus on the skirt for a bit while I kind of mull this over. The skirt is vaguely sewn, but not completely sewn, so yeah, this is kind of the look right now. And yeah, this is so tight. If I gain any forearm muscle, it won't fit. Last check-in before the reveal. We got a whole bodice, we got the sleeves. I have some hand stitching to do, and I need to add the lace to the sleeves, but otherwise we're almost all wrapped up on that, which I think is exciting. It looks great. I think this is gonna be so cute and such a fun dress. And then I have multiple skirts. This is, oh, other side. This is the overskirt, which I just need to gather and fit to the bodice. And then after that one is basted on the bodice, it has you then put on the underskirt, which is what this one is. So fun stuff, I guess. And yeah, I will be checking back in with you guys for the reveal. Alright, we are here for, I guess, the conclusion or the after. This is the final result. I feel like it looks very authentic 70s. I'm really proud about how I used the whole bed sheet and how, like, I used the plain on the collar and I used the lace around the collar and the cuffs and the skirt. Like, I feel like I did a really good job upcycling this sheet and like still keeping it like kind of true to itself, whatever that means. I really love, I don't have them buttoned, but I do really love these buttons on the cuffs. If I could go back, I would have waited to do the cuffs until I had the buttons. These don't button tight enough right now. Basically, it's that I need the loops to be significantly smaller. I didn't have the buttons when I made them, so it was hard to know. Definitely, I will link this button vendor down below. I thought they had a really great variety of buttons, and I'm pretty happy with these. So I think it's that this dress for me was thick enough to not need all that work of the underlayer, so I will real quick unzip this and turn it inside out for y'all. I am really proud of the underlayer. I think it's really pretty. However, I do think it's completely unnecessary, because this just like isn't sheer enough to need all the underlining I did. But I really liked this fabric. I think I'm gonna go ahead and order more of it. This lining fabric was like the perfect weight where it was like just heavy enough and not quite too light. The other fabric I got at the same time I got this fabric was for me perhaps a bit too light. It works really well. I just think it's unnecessary, and I think for me now this will make this dress unbearable during the summer unnecessarily. I think I could have just worn like your typical nude slip under it. The other thing I did on this that I don't usually is I actually top stitched the waist to keep the fabric up. I actually think that works really well, and when I have good enough thread match, I think I'll continue to do that. This pattern was probably, I would argue, for this dress the most complicated one I've made, because I was making the underdress, the overdress, the cuff, the collar, like I was making the whole shebang, and I feel like it was really pretty complicated. I do need to put some hooks and eyes on the collar. I've gotten pretty used to what it takes to make a 1940s or 1950s dress, so it was kind of fun to try a new decade with much more complications to it. I feel like, as always, I learned a lot from this project. I also think I'm just getting more professional and better at sewing. I will note that this zipper is still not perfect. Like, it's off by like 1/4 inch on matching on both sides, and I don't quite know what I do that makes my zippers always turn out uneven on each side, but something does happen to do that, which is a bummer. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is actually the first dress I ever sewed in my life, and I have that video on this channel. I will link that in case you want to check that out. And then otherwise, I am here every Friday. I'm actually debating changing my upload date to like a Wednesday or Tuesday, just to switch it up. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I would definitely be interested. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!